everyone, it's Dan or A-Drive here, the creator of Elestrals, bringing you guys week 1 of the Elestriad, our pack opening and our deck breakdown, as DistantCoder faces off against JadeJonny in a clash between two epic pantheons. DistantCoder is going to be representing Aeolus and the Wind Pantheon, and JadeJonny, who worked their way all the way up through the ranks in a side tournament to compete, is going to be representing Zeus and the Thunder Pantheon. Enjoy their openings and their deck profiles. Oh, and be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you guys are new so you don't miss out on the Elestriad.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy DistantCoder. For you guys that don't know me, I am a Yu-Gi-Oh content creator over on YouTube and on Twitch. And I'm going to be honest, I'm really excited to be a part of the Elestriad, man.
Yo, what is up, your boy JadeJonny? Hi, I got selected to be in the Elestriad, and I make Elestrals content, and I love it so much.
Ever since this game went up on Kickstarter, I've been excited to play it. I've been, a very early backer of the game, and I really like how the game plays. I've been playing it in my own time and being invited into the Elestriad to cook up some other people who might think they're better than me. I ain't naming no names. I'm here to clap some cheeks, bro. I'm gonna have some fun, and this is exciting. It's a really, really cool concept, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
It's awesome to play this game, and like getting to play with like content creators from the outside of the sphere and getting to share my love and my passion for this game with them is amazing, and I am so happy for that opportunity to do. Thank you, Dan, again for allowing me to do this.
So in terms of the elemental pantheon that I chose, I've selected to go with the Penterror starter deck, with which I'm going to be able to use the Pantheon of Aeolus. It's going to be really exciting. Honestly, I selected this one not because I think it's the best one, but because I think it's the best one fresh out the box.
I am representing Thunder because it is shocking. I am a huge Thunder player. I love Thunder so much. Part of that is due to the fact that there is a member of our community named Jai who created a meme unconsciously. I am hoping to bring that meme to all of you.
So I do think that the Thunder starter deck, or even like the Earth starter deck, have some really unique like tools that I can use for later deck building down the line, but I think off rip, this is the strongest starter deck by itself, in my opinion. So that's the reason why I selected this one. I genuinely think that this starter deck is probably going to be the best one that I'm going to be able to start with. So for today, we're going to be opening this. We're going to be opening some packs out of a nice booster box, and we also have our Elemental Pantheon sleeves that we're going to be able to sleeve our deck in. So that's really exciting.
So we have to open up the packs and show you guys what the contents are. But as many of you may know, there's actually a chance for your starting Elestral, Quackle in this case, Sproudier in the Earth's case, etc., to be stellar. And so I was like, hey, I think it'd be awesome to share the idea that I could be getting one of those with all of you. So we are going to find out together if I get a stellar Quackle or not.
Out of the booster box, actually what I'm going to be looking for is not going to be Wind Elestrals. It's going to be Thunder Elestrals. And the primary reason why I'm looking for those is because I'm anticipating that after week 1 and week 2, I'm going to be attempting to build some amount of like a Wind Thunder deck, and being able to pair the Wind cards with some Thunder cards that are in the booster box is actually going to be really strong if we're able to pull them. Otherwise, another thing that I'm expecting to pull, not expecting to pull, but I'd love to pull, is the Viserys. Viserys, good card just in general. If I could pull one of this, one in my 6 packs, I can grab the Founders promo next week and have 2 of them, which is good enough for me. So let's grab 6 packs. I'm going to believe in just the top 6, bro. I'm going to believe in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 packs. I'm going to believe in these 6 packs, and these 6 packs will carry me to victory, and the remaining packs will go off to the side for a later week. You know what? First, before I do that, dude, let me actually get the starter deck open. Who knows? Maybe we'll pull the Stellar Hydrake. That'd be pretty cool.
While Coder fumbles with his box, let's check in with JadeJonny to see if he pulled that stellar Quackle.
So the boss is going to be Imperial. Honestly, I think Imperial is probably not the thing that you want to be going into inside of the starter deck. So I really see us cutting that pretty early on. We do unfortunately reveal that we do not get a stellar Quackle right off the bat. But Quackle's a really cool card because it allows you to regain spirits, and not a lot of elements have that in a very easy access. Earth has to attack to do it. Fire doesn't really have a way to do it outside of generic cost cards. Water only has 1 card to do it, and I believe Wind doesn't. Wind has Cryosaur, or Chrysor. So there's not really many effective ways to regain spirits. So Thunder, you know, having that option is pretty good.
Let's pull the Stellar Hydrake. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. I do this for a living. Believe it or not. If I can get this damn thing open.
Here's where we get to the meat of the cards, the pretty impactful cards. Toxion is a really powerful card, allowing you to expend a spirit with so many ways to loop Thunder Spirits inside constructed play. We're really hoping that we get some pretty good, decent ways to Nexus as well, so that we're able to deal some decent damage. Galvenom is also a really powerful card because you can expend 3 to pop 2 cards on the board, which I think it's expensive for constructed play, but in a sealed environment like this card's probably going to be putting in a lot of work. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it being used quite frequently during the Elestriad.
Dude, God. This is so well packaged, it's hard to open.
If you open a Spark It and a Zeus, especially in a sealed environment, you're able to do a lot of damage to your opponent, so that's pretty much what we're going to be hoping for early on. Ash Rabbit's probably one of the most powerful cards of the game. It is a very powerful card that enables you to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then add one to your hand, and you do not have to reveal. So we're definitely going to want to make a lot of use of this during this tournament, regardless of what deck we end up going into later on in the event. Next up, the card I was talking about, we have Boombat. Boombat is insane. It is just effectively play it and then disenchant using the spirit that you just played it with, and just destroy an Elestral. And that's a very powerful effect. I'm pretty sure a lot of players from other card games can attest to that. So we do have 2 of those.
It's time to switch back over to DistantCoder to see if he finally was able to open his starter deck.
Doing this without nails is awful. Come on. Come on. Okay. Penterror, and not a Stellar Hydrake. So we got 3 Hydrake, which is going to be very useful. Love to see it. 3 Hydrake good, double Twindra. Arrowmare, good card in general. Being a 4/5 is just annoying to deal with for a lot of decks. P-Gust, very strong. Only 2 of them, unfortunately. Exalter, I don't know if I'll play them. Sorlitz, very good card. Ash Rabbit, best card in the game. Boombats, Elichix, Veritaquas, Nectars of the Gods, Ambrosia, resting on your laurels. Circle in the Sky, got the Aeolus, Islands of Aeolia, Bag of Winds, Tornadoes, Thunderstorms, Tsunamis, and a bunch of Spirits. And that is what we're going to be having in our starter deck. A lot of stuff to deck build with. We're going to be deck building later on.
Next we have Nectar of the Gods. I don't know what it does, but I'm sure someone in the comment section can tell me. So please let me know if you guys know what it does. Then we have Ambrosia. Like I was saying before, not a lot of decks have a way to recover life, and Ambrosia is one of those generic ways that you're able to do that easily without having to like take up too much space inside of your decks for like some stupid combo. I'm really excited for the opportunity to play Zeus against my opponent and just kind of like reinstate the meme, and let's hope that I get a lot of opportunities to do that. Next up we have Earthquake, probably one of the strongest cards in the game, if not the strongest card in the game. Just being able to say no, you don't have that Elestral anymore is just powerful. It's just impactful. There's a lot of adjustments you can make to this deck to upgrade it, and we're gonna go ahead and crack open that booster box and open our 6 packs for week 1 to see what we can do.
And now let's get into the packs. Hopefully, I'm hoping to pull Griffuse. That is the card that I want to be pulling here. So in a perfect world, I get a Griffuse. That's another Elichick. We got a Quackle, a Jolton. Here, let's zoom in on this bad, boys. Let's zoom in over here, boys. We got the Nimbug. What's up, my Nimbugs? Another P-Gust. Very nice. We got the playset Signatrick, Astra Rabbit, Arrowmare, and an Aphoros. Not useful for us, but that's cool. That's a foil off rip. Love to see it. That's a rare. That could have been the Viscerus. Why wasn't it the Viscerus? It's fine.
So right off the bat, we start off with Helios Chariot Ride. This is basically allows us to prevent our opponents from playing runes during the turn that it's casted. So this could be a very powerful card in play. Ignectar is also a really cool play, especially if we end up going into a fire strategy or an ascension strategy. This will enable us to essentially play 3 cards for the cost of 1, so that would be pretty cool too. Warmite, we already have 2 copies. I'm pretty sure we're going to end up getting another one, so that's, while a cool card, isn't the best card we would like to see right now. Next up we have a Kraken. Its ability to suppress off of the Foamy Search is really good, but I think right now we're already predominantly going into a Thunder-centric strategy, so I think that we're going to have to just not pay much attention to the water cards. Next up we have Sluggle, but I don't think that we're going to worry about going into water since Majesty's not that great in constructed, let alone sealed. Next we have another Spinimp. Like I said, it's probably going to give you one of the first cards cut. Then we do have a Socrasaur as an uncommon, which is really cool. And a Barabog as another uncommon. And then we do have a foil Pandora's box. Note that foils are not guaranteed inside the base set. So inside every pack. And I'm gonna sleeve this up right here. Pandora's Box is a really cool card, like I've said before multiple times. So getting a second copy here, like I said, in sealed play is probably gonna be extremely useful. So let's hope that maybe we can pull a third. Maybe?
Let's bring it back over to DistantCoder as he chases down the Hollow Viscerus. There's no way he actually pulls it, right?
All right, next up. Next pack. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? We got an Ursmog, Urseer, Ignector, Fire Pack over here, Elichick, Foliar Forest, Signatrick, another Asher Rabbit, that's a playset, Aeromare, Viscerus! Hey, yo! Okay! Wait a minute, that's hella good. Wait, that's hella good. What the hell? We got the Viscerus. Okay. I'm excited now. Bro, that's 2 foils and 2 packs, bro. We take those. We got a Viscerus. That's really strong.
We have an Ampup. Ampup's a really cool card because it thins out the deck, but at the same time, Ampup's not really supported by anything other than Lycavolt, so I doubt we'll see it. Then we do have an Elichick. Elichick is actually a really powerful card, and no matter what strategy we go into, we're going to be able to search out a Divine Rune. So that's actually a very useful tool that we have here. Then we do have a Quackle, which, We have a Jolton. I'm pretty sure through the starter decks we had to get in a playset anyways, but this guarantees that we have a full playset now. Next up, we have a Nimbug. Shout out to Dan. Then we have another Boombat. This brings our playsets up to 3. Then we have a Lycavolt, Speak of the Devil, and it shall appear. That's a really cool card, and I love to see it. Unfortunately, it's not something that's super playable. Hammer of Hephaestus is going to be a really cool equipment in case we ever go into a fire strategy. It enables us to search it out with. We can search it out with Hephaestus and then use its effect to. Then use Kinleo's effect to Nexus to be able to destroy an opponent's Celestial. And then we have a Rhinoceros foil. God, are we just gonna hit all of our foils like at the start? Oh, that'd be really cool, but like, then I don't have a reason to continue to going into the booster packs.
Now, can I pull the Griffuse? If I could only pull a singular Griffuse, I'll be very happy. Golden Apple, Sharon's Obel, Helios' Chariot Ride, Tsunami, Thunderbolt of Zeus, Thunderstorm, and a Cracking! Not what I wanted, but it's okay. We have 3 more packs. Surely I can pull a singular Griffuse in 3 packs, right? Right.
And Flip and Sluggle to start off. That's a really cool card. Typhlant. But we do have Small Tuga, which is a very powerful card and one of the best decks in the format right now. So we could end up easily seeing ourselves go into that. Vertaqua is a very strong card. As a matter of fact, players from another game may be traumatized by the phrase "make verte," but in Elestrals, we also have the phrase "make verte," and it is an out to almost everything. So, next up we have Tadpuff. Tadpuff is an easy ascension in a water-centric strategy, but again, I don't see us going into something like that. We do hit a Galaxia, and Galaxy is actually one of the strongest cards in a water-centric focus. It is one of the strongest beaters in a deck that has been dubbed 5 defense, and it is one of the strongest cards of the game. Boombat, we don't need another one. Lycavolt, we definitely didn't need another one. A non-foil Majesty into a Zaptor. A lot of the strongest cards that we're looking for are actually not foils.
I'm sure I can pull a singular Griffuse in 3 packs. Come on now. Give me the Griffuse. Small Tuga, good card. Veritaqua, Tadpuff, Drataya, Ramagem, Siracoon, Chrysor, Carrion, Voltempest. Okay, we got a Voltempest over here. Nice. Not what I wanted. I wanted the little boy, not the big boy, but hey, we take it. We will take it.
Cinder allows us to go into a mill strategy, but I don't think mill is going to be very viable in such a sealed format, or it could be overly viable. I'm not entirely certain. Globby is going to be a really cool card to help you ramp out in Majesty, but like I said, I don't think the water is the play. And a foil Spinosect! Not the best foil we could get, but it is a foil of all time. So, can't complain too much. Now can we?
Alright, we got another Sorlet. We got a Foliar Forest, Atlantis, Islands of Aeolia, Drops of Leaf, Siracoon, Chrysor, Carrion, another Aphoros, and a Lycaris. Okay.
So we see an Urscout. Urscout, like I said, bears. I love bears. Nimbug. Sorry, Dan, it's not one of my favorites. As a matter of fact, the opposite. This card is probably the card that has traumatized me the most outside of Volcanic Forge, so thank you for showing up today, P-Gust. we see a Sorlet. Sorlet's a really cool card. One of the best cards in a deck called Five Guys. And it's actually pretty easy to build Five Guys out of the starter deck. So we might end up being playing Sorlet at some point. We see our third Earthquake, but I mean, we're probably gonna get those out of the starter decks anyways. So I mean, like, you know, it's not you know, the best thing. It's not the worst thing. We see another Kinleo, another Cinder trying to get us to go into a fire here, and we see the Imperial non-foil into a Zaptor.
One last pack. Come on now. Come on now. Give me the Griffuse. Come on. I deserve it. I deserve it. Give me one Griffuse, please. Warmite, Krakid, Aeolia, Leaf, Golden Apple, Siracoon, Chrysaor, Carry On, and a Panda Sign. Not what I wanted. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I can't really complain. I got a Viscerus, which is really not bad at all. That's like very strong. So with that being said, these are our foils. I guess it's time to get into deck building. So I'll be right back with that. Let's run it.
Depending on what else we pull, we could end up seeing, like, you know, some massive changes. So who knows? We got Jolton here, Nimbug. We also, I think this rounds out our playset, so we could not see any more Nimbug, and we can see a P-Gust. Then we have a Sorlet. Sorlet's so cool, and I love Sorlet so much. We see a Fulloy Forest and a Carrion. Pelaquarius is a pretty cool card, but I don't think we'll be seeing play. I think it also comes as a 2-of in one of the starter decks. Don't quote me on that, though. Scythe of Demeter is going to be cool to round out our playsets, but not the greatest thing that we see. And we see an Equalinx. Equalinx actually has a Stellar Rare, so we did not pull the Stellar Rare right here, which, you know, it could have been Stellar, and it would have been awesome if it was Stellar, but it's not Stellar. And then we see a little Leviathan. So overall, I think we're going to be seeing some massive changes to our decks in the upcoming days. So that being said, yeah, hopefully we are jumping to a match soon. So
now that you guys have seen all of the pack openings for DistantCoder and JadeJonny, it's time for them to break down their decks. DistantCoder, what deck are you bringing to face Johnny in week 1?
Okay, so I'm done with deck building, and here's what I came up with. All right, so I'm going to be playing 3 copies of Hydrake, 2 copies of Twindra, and the Pantera Box Topper as my Pantera line. I think this is going to be a very powerful one. It's going to be difficult to deal with. 3 Sorlet because I pulled the 3rd, which I'm very happy about. 3 P-Gust because I pulled the 3rd, which I'm also very happy about. I'm playing triple Arrowmare as my 1-drop Wind Elestrals, and I'm also playing the 1 Glisdale. This is my lineup of Wind Elestrals for this. Otherwise, I'm going to be playing 3 Astro Rabbit, 2 Elichick, and a Jolton. I really think the Stadium Runes are going to matter quite a bit for the early stages of the Elestriad, so for that reason I'm going to put in the Jolton that I pulled. And I'm going to be playing 2 copies of Veritaqua just because I know my round 1 opponent is on the Thunder starter, and Astro Rabbit has a big booty, and this is a way to clear that. This is going to be all the Elestrals that I'm playing. I didn't count how many that was, but it's a pretty significant amount. It's a lot more than you would be playing in Constructed, but I think I have no choice but to do it. Then off to the runes, I'm playing 2 copies of Aeolus. I'm playing 2 Islands of Aeolia. I'm playing 2 Bag of Winds. I'm playing a Nectar of the Gods, 2 Ambrosia, 2 Resting on Your Laurels, 1 Thunderstorm, 3 Tsunami, and a Helios' Chariot Ride. Unfortunately, these are the only like good counter runes that I have. Don't have access to Shield, didn't pull it. Don't have access to Tip or Gorgon's Gaze because those are exclusive to other starter decks. So unfortunately, this is the max I'm going to be able to run with in terms of counter runes, which might leave me at a little bit of a disadvantage, but you know, it's okay. I'll make it work. I'll manage. And then in terms of spirits, we decided to play 12 Wind Spirits just because the Pantera line does take up a lot of spirits from your spirit deck. Very, very difficult to manage. And then I decided to play 5 Zaptor and 3 Leviathan for 20 total spirits, obviously. In terms of like fears that I have for this matchup, I know that Johnny is going to have multiple copies of Earthquake, which is probably Earthquake and the Shield of Achilles, which are both cards that really ruin my plans quite a bit. So I think the game is going to be won or lost entirely on when he draws those cards and how he uses them. Because I think those are the only cards that really beat out my deck. Other than that, I think my deck does have a little bit of a leg up. but I think those runes in specific are the ones that are going to be ruining my day. So this is the deck we're running with, and let's see how we do.
So it seems like DistantCoder has a pretty epic strategy, but can it match up with what JadeJonny's bringing? Let's take a look.
Let me start off by saying I have not seen what he's opened, but with the way that Wind functions, there's not many cards you can open in the base set that will make an impactful change on the overall deck composition. Unless he opens very specifically multiple Nimbugs, Saracoon, and a Stratomoth, or Voltempest and a Zeus, there's not really much he can do with his deck to make anything particularly surprising. I think overall I'm going to be looking at a basic Pantera build with maybe some staples, counter runes, and earthquakes from the base set thrown in there. So overall, I don't think I need to particularly worry about any surprises coming out of him, unless he just pulls the nuts. And if he pulls the nuts, then I just kind of have to roll with the punches that I set in place. So to start off, we are playing a single copy of Galaxia. Thunder doesn't have many beaters, and in Sealed, I didn't pull anything particularly powerful. So I was like, I'm just gonna throw a Galaxy in here. If he does throw Tsunami in there, I still have something to beat over his defensive units. So there's that. Then we are playing 3 copies of Warmite. It's just honestly, it's something that can out a bigger body. So I can force a Ascension with a Twindra. I can also, play into a Sorlet. I can still play into an attack position Arrowmare easily without having to use Zeus's ability. So it provides me a lot of offensive capabilities that Thunder doesn't normally have, especially in a sealed format. Next up, we're playing 2 copies of Galvenom. Galvenom's a very powerful card, being able to go for a 2-for-1. Being able to just kind of like blow up back row, especially in week 1, is just a super powerful effect to have. Next up, we do not want him being able to go into Terror in 1 turn. We would like the chance to potentially out it. So we are playing 3 copies of Rice Ross. This way we get that 1 turn up buffer before he's able to do any offensive presence to our board. So Rice Ross is just going to be a good card. Very specifically in the week 1 matchup, I think we're probably going to end up cutting Rice Ross very, very quickly going forward. Next up, we're playing 2 copies of Toxion. Like I said, Toxion's a really cool card. It does do 1 point of burn, and it also is a 4 attacker, which is predominantly where all of the offensive units in Thunder is 4 attack. So having the ability to expend burn, and then it combined with this card, Spark It, we can also shred a card from their hand and also force them to expend 1 extra point. So Spark It's going to be a very powerful card here. Then we do have 3 copies of Jolton. Jolton does have 4 attack. This is also going to allow us to grab our Stadium Rune, Mount Olympus. This does give us an out to the Aloya if he does play it. Next up, we have 1 copy of Elechik. We only pulled the 1 copy of Elechik. This will enable us to get to our 2 copies of Zeus. So this is a really cool card to have right off the bat. Next, we do have 3 Boobats. Essentially going for a 1-for-1. It's not the best option, but whenever you're playing into Pater, Twindra, you want to be able to have the ability to remove it. Next up, we do have 2 Astrabets. Like I said, it's a duality. It enables us to go further into the deck, and it combos well with Spark It. Then we're playing 3 copies of Earthquake. Now, unfortunately, we do only have 3 Earth Spirits, 3 Teratlases. So this is honestly just to more consistently see it. We want this card. This card is probably going to make or break the entire game for us. Next up, we're playing 2 Nectar of the Gods. I don't know what it does, but I felt like it was the right thing to do to put in here. But then we're playing Ambrosia. We're playing 1, and we're going to need to see it. We have way too many expensive cards to not see it. So we're going to need to see this if we're going to win. We have 2 copies of Thunderstorm. Like I said, any back row he plays is probably going to be a bluff, unless, of course, he opens like Shield from the starter deck, Shield from base set. But it would also be nice to hit Tsunamis, so that's why Thunderstorm's in here. Then we have 2 Shield of Achilles. Shield of Achilles is a really powerful card. It's going to stay on the deck for probably forever. Then we do have 2 Pandora's Box. If it ever gets to a point where Twindra can pop off, we have the ability to stop the Twindra special cast. We are playing this just on the off chance that he does get the ability to play Pent. We have 2 copies of Mount Olympus. We get to search these off Jolton. Like I said previously, we're playing around Island of Aelia, and we need to do that. We can't risk losing just because 5-6 stats are too high. Then we are playing 2 Thunderbolt of Zeus. It's Nexus Spotter for Spark It, and it also allows us to do a lot of force expenditure. in this sealed environment where he has a limited access to the amount of counter runes he has. That I feel like this is just a powerful card all around. And then obviously we're playing 2 Zeus because we need to bring out that Zeus Juice to the party, and Zeus Juice is here to stay. So that being said, I don't know if Coder is going to be showing his deck list off first or if I'm showing off my deck list first, but I will be saying that it is time to just get into the match. Let's do it.
Thank you guys so much for watching this pack opening and deck breakdown for week 1 of the Elestriad. Be sure to stay tuned to the channel for the actual match and throwdown between DistantCoder and JadeJonny. Let us know who you got in the comments below.